going on, all you awesome superhero aficionados? This is the Heroes and Mutants podcast. I'm Nick with my co-host
Ruben,
and
Josh. What up?
Jimmy can't be with us today. He's with us in the spirit. We miss you, man. But how you guys feeling today? How is everybody doing?
I'm feeling well, man. I'm still surprised that this quarantine is still going on, but
Seriously.
I'm still making the best of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging in there.
Definitely.
Hanging in there.
How about you, man?
Good, man. Just working. Grateful to be here today.
Same here. Yeah. I was actually gone back to. This is my second week back at work, and the transition has just been rough.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Just going back from just chilling at home to
just chilling at home and collecting EDD and all that. But it's harder too because I actually got off work today, and this whole week has been a lot of OT. So honestly, this is something I look forward more to now because I'm just sitting at my table for 10, 11 hours all day, telling myself, man, I can't wait to get here and see these handsome faces and these cameras rolling.
Hey, what up?
Sorry we missed last week's episode, but we're here making it up today. So you guys ready to get into some awesome superhero media?
Yeah, Brody, let's go.
Let's do it. So we got our first look at the Red Hood on season 3 of Titans, and we did a poll on the Higher Passion Entertainment page where we had asked people if they we saw our first look at the Red Hood and if they liked it. 82% said yes and 18% no. Were the people right on this? Do you guys like the design and predictions for how Jason will become the Red Hood?
I mean, just overall the portrayal of how it looks and the first introduction to how the costume is, it's sort of a little bit like the actual Red Hood in the comics. So there's some sorts of similarities towards it.
Definitely.
But it's not truly, I mean, whenever it goes to like that, bringing it from a comics to an animation or to a film, like live action, they never go straight directly with the actual costume of it. They always portray and put their little inputs, which is why I saw some differences in that, but I still like that.
What do you like about the design? Is there anything you would fix?
Actually, no. I would have to see it again. But overall, everything I like.
For real?
I like that. Maybe take off the leather jacket or make it black.
Interesting. What about you,
See,
man?
that's what I'm saying. All right, so I'm glad you brought that up because I do like how he's coming into the Titans season 3, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I do like that factor into it. I like the way they kind of introduced that trailer. That first trailer, it wasn't a major trailer, it didn't show anything, but they gave like that symbol or that look to it. You know what I'm saying? So I consider that a trailer without a doubt.
Definitely.
I consider that a trailer. And I'm not gonna lie, I do not like his, like you say, as time goes, they always work on their portrayal of their suit or their costume or whatever the factor is of that, right?
Definitely.
I do not like the way they're portraying it right now because I ain't gonna lie, it reminds me of an Obey jacket right now. The way they have one portrayed right now, it reminds me of an Obey jacket where they had the black or brown leather fake. Leather, I should say, fake leather, leather, but it had that hoodie aspect to it.
Word of the day, guys.
Which is very reminiscent of Arkham Knight because Arkham Knight definitely had the leather jacket had the hoodie over the top.
Over it. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it kind of reminds me of that Obey that
really
jacket
playing off that hood aspect.
Exactly.
Red Hood.
So it had the leather. But it also had that regular hoodie aspect to it. And it definitely reminds me of Obey right now. And I think that's the only thing I dislike about it. But it's like you say, it's only the intro.
Style.
Yeah, it's only the intro. So I guess I'm hoping it's kind of like that Spidey aspect to it, SpiderMan. Where he just creates his own suit, his own uniform or his own look. And then he'll just create off of that. So that's the only thing I dislike about it. I do not like the way his look is right now, but I'm hoping they build off of that.
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty much on the same page with you. I think it's a good start to the character and a good introduction, and it looks very reminiscent of the comics, and they were definitely taking the source inspiration into account. Overall, I really do like the suit. The leather, the cargo pants or the combat pants look really great. The chest piece and his armor look really great, and you can see a symbol of the bat emblem also, which is obviously going to take inspiration to pretty much kind of like Red Hood and the Outlaws in the New 52 with that take. Leather jacket looks cool. I don't know how I feel about the hoodie part too. I feel like he just looks better and more badass with just the leather jacket. I don't know. I don't know if I really like the hood with it. My main gripe is probably with the design of the mask. Curran Walters, who plays Jason Todd, who's going to be playing the Red Hood, he posted a close-up of the helmet on Halloween. And it's just I do like that they went for battle damage and cute. You can take a closer look. Oh my bad.
It looks like a half-assed Iron Man.
That's exactly what people like. The part right there where it looked like a lining of it. It looks kind of like Iron Hood, if that makes sense. I do like that they went with something reminiscent of the comics and something that they were obviously taking inspiration. But I feel like there's Dark Knight Effects, he builds cosplays, and one of his main things is he builds awesome replicas of the Red Hood, the helmet. You guys definitely need to check him out on IG. He had made complaints that it doesn't look up to par. Though I think the thing was the eyes just look too big to me. I just think that like he just looks a little bug-eyed. Okay. And he doesn't have that kind of angry vengeance look to him. Like if you were to see that look at you, you wouldn't think, "Oh God, I'm about to die."
Oh,
but
yeah,
you see that. No. So I definitely think it just
reminds me of my bad.
I think that's why they need the hood,
the Iron Giant.
Remember
the Iron Giant? That's how his eyes remind me.
I don't exactly like how he has like they gave him like kind of like the nose. I don't understand with that aspect. But overall with the suit, I'm probably like 75-80% happy with it. I think it's just if they redesign the helmet, take off I don't know if you guys saw the shin pads. They look very metallic or reminiscent of a knight. And that's my only gripe, but I really do like how he has the holsters, and it's something that they were definitely trying to do fan service with the comics, obviously.
Well, throughout time, like you said, there will be some sort of changes into the suit. Maybe the hoodie might get destroyed or something. It has holes.
Yeah, I think they should. I would like to see just how he looks without that, and just a redesign of the mask, and something that just makes him look more angry. Or
also, I think the only reason I feel like it would kind of work is because Titans is filmed in the darker aspect of it. So when you're gonna see the Red Hood, it's gonna be more darker scenes when it's at night or something like that. So it's gonna be easier for them to just cover the helmet.
That's what I'm hoping for. I just hope it's like one of those SpiderMan kind of aspects, where it's just his beginning outfit, and then he just moves along from that, or moves forward from that, where
he takes shit off.
He just takes shit off, or he'll just enhance it, or some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping for.
So, the next question is, what is your guys' predictions on how Jason's going to become the Red Hood? Because he hasn't died yet, and they've kind of obviously hinted at his darker personality, and obviously willing to go to the extreme and talk about things that like criminal and beating police freaking half to death.
Yeah.
Well, and they haven't really they've built up to it, but
he's a true hero.
Do you guys think that there's going to be some kind of time jump, and that's going to make sense with saying that either is he going to die, or is it going to be like Arkham Knight where he just gets tortured and left for dead or assumed dead? What do you guys think?
I think it'll be that assumed dead.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying necessarily he's gonna be tortured, because we don't necessarily know the timeline or the way they're gonna go about it. But I feel like he will have some sort of history where he was neglected or he was abused some way, somehow, and not because of the way he was. I guess prior to a hero, that's the way I think that's what's gonna lead him to being a hero.
Definitely.
Some way, somehow, the way he was portrayed, where he was, like I said, he was abused, but not for the fact that he was a hero already.
Exactly.
But he had those aspects where he was trying to become that leader, to be one of those superheroes.
Oh, he's just that hero that also is like, you have those heroes that only follow the law, as for other ones that are not scared to do it. Like, they're down to do what they have to do if that's what it has to be done. Like, they'll pay the consequences, they'll look like the bad person, but it has to be done.
Okay,
and that's the thing about the new 52 really tried to fix that aspect, where before in Under the Hood, and that was based off of Under the Red Hood, he was more of a crime lord and trying to control crime because he understood it's impossible to destroy crime. The only thing is you can control it, try to minimize the damage and minimize the casualties, and even out the playing field so that criminals are killing each other.
Yeah.
So I think they might build up to that aspect, and I think there's going to be he's going to have some kind of vendetta against Dick and the Titans and Bruce. And that's something in Arkham Knight and Under the Hood and the origins. This is the same thing. He feels neglected, and he's out for his vengeance and out because he's very pissed off. So the only thing is, I hope they do some kind of time jump, and I would like to see that storyline of him being killed by the Joker and being brought back to life with the Lazarus Pits. But that's the thing. It was kind of. That's the only thing I'm worried about, how they're going to integrate him.
The show hasn't gotten to that point.
Exactly. It's cool that they're doing it because this is what fans want to see, but I feel this third season probably should have done the storyline where he gets killed in action.
That's
and
true.
also playing off
Unless they
Dick.
have flashbacks in between the season.
That's why I think there's going to be a time jump. The only thing that makes sense is they can't do it to where season 2 ends and season 3 begins.
Yeah,
Like, it's been 6
he would
months.
already have to be a stable character.
Yeah.
And not only that, I
so.
think this whole COVID
Mhm.
thing has to have a major factor into
Definitely.
that too. So I agree with you when you're talking about
And
that time jump.
I
Because
think that would
this
be
whole COVID
cool,
thing
actually,
was-
too.
It
Like,
works, especially
it could
like you
work.
said.
It could pick up modern times where Jason is planning his return back to Gotham, and you see him, gearing up, and he's having flashbacks of whatever happened to him or to training and how he became this way and why he's going to the extreme to just no limits now, and no restrictions. Yeah, definitely.
I like that.
I'm
really
excited
like
to
that.
see it.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a lot of awesome action.
And Titans is also rated R, so the action in it is gonna be good.
Oh yeah,
That's what I like about it.
I'm just
because-
ready to see him and Dick face off, and him and Nightwing fight each other. Like, you guys
That's
know
gonna
Nightwing's
be
my boy, so I
badass.
can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Cool, you
So-
choose.
Nick Grayson.
And I want to take this time to thank you guys so much. We're going to be doing more polls in the future, and we definitely want to get your guys' insight and opinions on how you guys feel about certain things. So
Yeah,
for all
let
of you
us
guys
know,
who
let us know.
participated in this poll, we thank you so much, and we're going to be doing more of that in the future. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
You
Yeah, I'm
already
talking
know
about
it.
you,
Stay tuned.
You, especially you.
especially which one?
You and you.
There you go. Gotta give love to all of them, man.
That's what you gotta do.
So the other big news, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm hoping that it's true and that this is what is actually going to happen. But Oscar Isaac is being eyed to play Moon Knight in the Disney Plus series. Do you guys feel he's a good fit? And could this be redemption for him after the atrocity that was X-Men Apocalypse?
I actually could see him. I could see him redeeming himself, and it's crazy because I believe like in the earlier episodes we talked about it. Because if I'm not mistaken, Keanu Reeves was
There was rumors
in the
about
tar-
it.
yeah,
There was
rumors, right?
I
There
don't
was
know
rumors.
how
Him,
deep it was.
Daniel
but-
Yeah, we don't know how
Radcliffe.
deep it was. Yeah, exactly. And then now, from what I understand, I actually like the way they're going for this because, like I said, now that I mentioned Keanu Reeves, he's supposed to portray Ghost Rider, I should say, Ghost Rider. Supposedly, he's in the
Awesome
talks
Ghost
for Ghost Rider, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I understand this aspect about it, where they want him to become Moon Knight, and I actually do like it because I did like him in the new Star Wars films that he came out in. And the word talks about him after the third one, the new one it's
So
crazy.
the Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker. After that, he was not going to portray his role anymore.
I think
in
they
that
were all
film.
supposed to be
They
done.
all-
It's
they
supposed to be
all
the end
stopped.
of that
Yeah,
trilogy or
'cause now
that
it's
saga.
it's a new saga. Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. And it's crazy because, like I said, a lot of people don't believe that Star Wars is Marvel. Well, it didn't originally start that way, but it is Marvel. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
just
So
not
now-
property of
Yeah.
Marvel. That's what it is.
But okay, that makes sense. So it just, I like that aspect about it because he came out in a not Marvel movie, but in a Marvel. If you think about it, when it comes to comics,
X-Men was
Yeah.
Marvel.
When it
And
comes
then
to
he
comics.
was Apocalypse, which
And he
it was
was
very under.
Apocalypse.
I think that's why I said it could be a redemption for him because I won't say that Apocalypse is all his fault, but for the caliber of actor he is and the talent that he is capable of, he just seemed very disinterested. And he was actually he was getting more roasted. He gained some notoriety. He was getting more roasted because he was complaining about, oh, well, the suit was very uncomfortable. It was very hot, this, and that. And then people were like, dude, well, if I was getting paid $5 million for this movie, I could have worn I could have been working in 200-degree weather, or I could have been in the most not optimal conditions ever, and it would have been perfectly fine. So I do feel he's a good fit, and that's why I thought it could be something of a redemption because this is also a very hard character to pull off.
Oh,
Moon
without a
Knight,
doubt.
I'm not a diehard Moon Knight fan, but just
Me either.
knowing this character, he has multiple personalities and different aspects to his character, and being from an Egyptian god, it's just it's one of those things like it's people who have dissociative personality or multiple personalities. It's hard to pull off because there's just so many layers to that character, and obviously James McAvoy did it so perfectly as Kevin in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, but
And
it's
Shyamalan.
it's just- I think it's
That
a
was
good
crazy.
thing, and it's something of a redemption for him. And knowing that he's capable of really amazing talent and really amazing acting, I think this is something that is good for him, and I think he is a good fit.
I like it.
What about you, Josh?
I'm cool with it. I mean, like you said, he is a good actor. Usually for me, I know if you're already in contracts with Disney, you're gonna be recycled in a lot of movies that they have in the near on future. So basically, since Star Wars is now property of Disney, they have those actors to use into the other movies. Like right now, isn't there like talks of well, not me, never mind. That's a whole different thing because it's going to DC, but it's John Boyega going as Red Hood, right? I think there was some talks that they wanted him to be like
He had
that.
said that he was interested, or that he would that
Well,
Red Hood would be a
would be
character
like-
that he would like to portray.
So
But-
it's like that, like, you know, they're still able to transition in between. But overall, I think sorry.
Oscar
He could have done better in X-Men, but overall, X-Men was written kind of
wasn't- it
poorly.
wasn't
It was a
his
good
fault.
movie.
Yeah, you
I
can
liked
never
it.
blame the actors
No,
or the
I
writers.
do blame more so for the fact he didn't give anything memorable, or it
Yeah.
didn't seem like he was actively
But that was just
trying,
more of a
but-
character. Like,
But you
can't
I would have
blame
wanted it.
him,
No,
exactly.
that's why I said I don't blame him totally.
I feel like
if
he
he
did
wanted
it
to
on
destroy
purpose.
something, he just basically did it. Like, no, like I wanted to see some
It could
sort
have
of
just been for the
typical,
paycheck,
like an
honestly,
actual
is what I
fight.
think it probably
exactly.
was.
Like I think he just portrayed his role
Mhm.
to get paid for he was paying to do.
Yeah.
He's like, well, all right, you just
You
want
give
me
me
to
this,
act it out
yeah.
this way. Well, I'm not gonna do anything extraordinary
Yeah.
if I'm not getting paid.
And also
for
being
it.
in that suit, he had to be
Yeah.
chilling in
Exactly.
a cooling
Yeah.
tent in between
Yeah.
takes. I think that also plays a factor in your performance. And because I don't know if you guys seen A History of Violence, he gave an amazing
Oh, yeah,
performance
I've
in it.
seen
That
that
was
one, yeah.
the first time I had seen, because he has actually been in the industry a long time, more so bit roles, smaller roles,
Yeah.
like in the early 2000s.
It's until they
I mean,
get
not the
those
early
beggy
2000s,
hitters
like
when
the
you figure them out.
2010s. And just seeing him transition into an actor of his caliber and how much he's matured and grown. And I actually was very excited when he was going to be announced as one of the leads for Star Wars, but then you realize it was more of a focus on Ray, obviously Ray, but then Finn too. And he was kind of more known for people shipping that relationship.
Well, because he
between
became
Finn
a
and
fan
Poe.
favorite, yeah.
More so because of that,
Yeah.
because of the
Little
that
interest,
meme
yeah.
that went around, and him being like, well, like, yeah, Poe is gay, and him and Finn they're pushing that whole thing. I think that was more what he was known for, but
Let's not get started on that.
yeah,
kind of
let's
topic.
not. I'm just saying, but
Why
yeah,
not?
it's a funny.
What's
I
wrong
definitely.
with it?
Nothing. Hold on. No.
No, I'm saying that's what more
Stop this.
people remember about him with Star Wars, and more so than him being
Yeah.
a great actor. More so when that happened, it was just, but
Yeah, and you're getting more ethnic, like people in like more in superhero
yeah.
spots too.
So all in agreement then. Oscar Isaac would be a great Moon Knight.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, I would like that. I would really like
And
that.
that's gonna be a show, right? Or is he
No,
gonna
it's
be
a
in the
Disney
movie?
Plus
It's
series.
a Disney Plus series.
So
yeah.
we don't, but like I said, none of this is confirmed. It had just been reported that he was being eyed. So until they actually come out and say Oscar Isaac is confirmed or has been casted, then, but hopefully, like, I think he's a great fit. Other than Keanu, he would probably be the best fit, honestly. Great actor. And
Without a doubt.
yeah, definitely excited to see if that ends up happening. So
I hope it does.
moving on, we actually were trying to cover this in our last episode. We didn't get enough time. So last month was Arleen Sorkin's birthday, the
Oh,
best and
yeah.
original voice actress for Harley Quinn. How instrumental was her portrayal in the character's success? Would she have been as popular if someone else had voiced her?
That's the difficult question to answer because there's always going to be a what if
Yeah.
factor. You know what I'm saying? But if I were to go based off of just her generally,
Mhm.
I don't think it would have popped off without her.
Yeah, I think
Because I just feel she
You're definitely
portrayed.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like she portrayed that, and it's crazy because I say a role, right? But it's not really a role; it's more of a voice.
Yeah.
But it's still a role.
Well,
I
because you still get into character. Like
Exactly.
if you really
But-
look at the
yeah.
behind the
See,
scenes,
the
like
reason-
they're
the
moving
reason-
the movements.
the reason I bring that up was just because of the fact, Paul Dini, who was one of the co-creators of Batman the Animated Series, and not a lot of let's drop some knowledge on the people.
Yeah,
So
let 'em know,
for
let
those of
'em
you who
know.
don't know, Harley Quinn was actually an original character created solely for Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
I don't even know if they had planned for her to be a major character. She was just meant to be the Joker's mistress and side piece, essentially. And
basically.
because of how popular she was and how much people liked her, she actually became part of the DC continuity in the comics. So, and especially when you think now of how instrumental that's one of the DC's most popular characters. Especially you got the really talented and beautiful Margot Robbie playing her,
Yeah.
but also too even before this, just everybody really seemed to like and gel with Harley Quinn. So, and the reason I bring it up about her portrayal, like how much of a success has contributed to her her personal portrayal, was because Paul Dini wrote this specifically for her, and a lot of aspects of her personality incorporated and told her, "Hey, just be yourself." So, that's just the reason why I wanted to bring this up as a talking point with you guys and what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, well, Josh, I want to know your aspect. You the one who's been silent on this
What do you mean? I've been talking.
about Harley.
Not about Harley, but you were
That's what
talking
we're
and I
talking
was
about
staying
right
quiet
now.
because I was listening to what
Well,
you
I
were
wanna
saying,
hear
and I
aspect.
agree with what you said.
All right, then what did I say?
You basically said she killed the role when she did Harley
Oh,
Quinn.
she
If
was-
not, she wouldn't have popped off. It's basically like Mark Hamill being the Joker. Like
Mhm.
they
Ooh.
played their role so good
Okay.
that they live on as that character forever. Like we're gonna know her as Harley
Well,
Quinn.
now what about you, Ruby? You didn't really get into your
Well,
talking
what I
point.
said is I can't talk about her. That what if, you know what I'm saying? So if anyone who else portrayed her voice when it came to Harley Quinn, I'm it's difficult. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it all
Kaylee
comes
Cuoco
out
is
to
doing a
what
good
if.
job with the new Harley Quinn
But
series.
it's
Yeah,
not the
but it's-
same version.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
it's
one of
still
those
like-
things that's it's made.
Because
It's still
like-
voicing the character.
it's like
she's
Nick was
gonna be
saying,
known
you
for
know-
this generation's Harley Quinn. Like
It's like
as
Nick
for
was
Arleen, it's
saying,
gonna be for us.
when you have an iconic voice or iconic, well, let's just say person, you know, because she was a person and she was a voice. So when you have an iconic person,
Exactly.
there's no way to replace that without
No.
a doubt.
Yeah.
There's no definite way to replace that. And I just feel like she killed it
Yeah.
without a doubt.
That's why I said she's gonna live on
Yeah.
as Harley Quinn.
She will.
I think it's more so because this character was herself. Like Paul Dini wrote this character with her in mind. You're gonna voice it. Just be yourself. Just be how I know you. And I think this was based off a character that she had played before in the 80s. So I remember seeing something of an old thing. I'm just like, everyone is just like, oh my gosh, she is Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. From her looks, from obviously the voice and just her mannerisms and everything about it. And even though Tara Strong is probably the next best voice for Harley Quinn because Arleen Sorkin hasn't voiced Harley since she returned for Arkham Asylum, and then after that was her last time voicing the character. And ever since then, Tara Strong has taken over, minus here and there some other people. Like Kaylee Cuoco obviously voices her in the show on HBO Max. So, but even then,
hate that.
Tara Strong is pretty much doing a Arleen Sorkin impersonation. It's kind of like Troy Baker in Arkham Origins, where he's
Yes.
just doing a Mark Hamill impersonation. So I would say, aside from her, if she's not doing the character, I don't exactly know why she's not. It was kind of weird that she returned for Arkham Asylum, which have been however many years after she had stopped voicing the character, and just from the fact of she didn't come back from Arkham City after that. So it was just a little bit weird. But I think Tara Strong is probably the next best thing because she sounds pretty spot on to her.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of a difference. If I close my eyes, you can hear just a little bit, but
Yeah.
you still have that influence of, okay, that
Yeah.
definitely
But
is somebody who
Tara
can pass
also-
off as
she also
Arleen.
portrays a different type of Harley Quinn as well.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of it.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it comes to the voice, I always wanted to feel some sort of like visual anti-way.
Has to flow,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
Have
saying? It has
to-
to flow. It has to flow with the flow, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go with
Because
the flow.
you could portray someone, but if it's not with the flow, like I'm saying, it's not with the flow. It's so
Uh-huh.
confusing, but
And
it's
if
what-
you treat her wrong,
it
she
is
won't
what
be
it
your
is, what I'm
hoe.
saying.
No
Words
mo.
of wisdom from Ruby Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Ruby
Ruby
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
That was a good one, man. But so I definitely feel that way. I don't think this character would have been as popular if there was somebody else who had voiced her, just
Yeah.
because there was so many aspects of that character that were so keen to Arleen.
Yeah.
Keen to Arleen. Wow.
Well,
I didn't
happy.
even try to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, it raps in natural art.
So those of you guys, please check out Arleen Sorkin. She
And happy
is
late birthday too.
the original Harley Quinn, and she is awesome. Thank you for
Dude,
your service, Arleen.
You
You're
know what's
awesome.
crazy? I have a shout out to my homegirl, Rachel Willis.
Rachel Willis.
She got freaking her birthday's tonight. Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Rachel.
without a
Birthday.
doubt, Rachel.
happy.
I'm gonna tag her without a doubt. But Ryan Reynolds, bro, one of her homegirls. I don't know how it happened, but she got Ryan Reynolds to give her a shout out for her birthday.
That's
Damn,
dope.
that's awesome.
And he literally did it, and it's crazy because he didn't promote on his page or
Mhm.
anything. So that's how I know. I feel like it was more legit.
That's pretty
because
awesome.
He literally called out the girl that said to do it for Rachel, and she promoted it out, and I was like, bro,
What's up?
that's fucking awesome, bro. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds because he's a true motherfucking hero.
Hey, RDJ, my birthday's next year, August 12th. Please remember.
But I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds, not RDJ.
No,
That's pretty awesome.
Hey, you never know. I could get a shout out from him. I could drink him.
Me personally, I'd rather have a shout out from fucking Deadpool himself.
That is pretty cool. Nothing could be better than that. But
That's why.
So I wanted to get into something a little bit more philosophical and something a little bit more thought-provoking.
Okay,
so
let's go.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this,
thoughts.
but it makes sense because...
Josh's mom, Brandon. My bad.
And it makes sense, but Stan Lee once said, the cliche I tried to avoid was, I hated teenage sidekicks. I always figured if I were a superhero, there's no way on God's earth I'm going to pal around with some teenager. What do you guys think of this quote in hindsight, especially considering we've had a lot of really awesome teenage sidekicks throughout comic history?
That's
I
his
think
take.
I understand. No,
That's his idea. That's the way he rolled.
but now it's the man himself, though. You can't take that away from him. So I think I understand his aspect. I think he feels like, yeah, I wouldn't want to work. Wait, it's a teenage superhero sidekick, or
Yeah.
No, he means a sidekick, like a
just a-
Robin,
So
a Bucky.
so he's a superhero, but he doesn't want to have a sidekick, right?
He's just talking about like a teenage sidekick.
In general. So
Yeah.
just think about it that way. So he's a superhero, but he doesn't want to have a sidekick, right? All right. I don't like it. I don't like his aspect about it because, like you said, in the comic book history, we always had these sidekicks, especially with SpiderMan. That's his freaking favorite superhero. But I understand what he's trying to say because not every just because you have a freaking
I just think there's
It's
way more
difficult.
emotion when
I'ma
you
get
bring
back
in
to
when
my
you bring in
aspect.
a
Go for it, go for it, go for it.
teenager. Because I mean, it's like a agree and disagree. Because
Definitely.
just overall, like, yeah, I do agree with just it being all superheroes without having no like, oh,
I
I
don't
got
agree with
to
that, though.
I got to teach this
That's
kid.
what I'm saying. I don't
But
agree with that.
overall, we have both. Like, we are lucky enough to have both. DC went the route with having sidekicks. Marvel stayed true because that's Stan Lee's vision, where he got all superheroes to just be equal to themselves.
I mean,
They
Cap
said
had,
Spider-Man.
Cap had Bucky, but I don't
Yeah,
think
Cap
he was
had, like,
Marvel.
that's
I don't
like
think he was
Spider-Man
Marvel
too.
yeah,
at the
like yeah,
time,
okay.
though.
So if you're getting close to like saying Spider-Man is closest to a sidekick to Iron Man, and Bucky's closest sidekick to Captain America, but he doesn't introduce it as that. They're their individual.
Like Spider-Man,
superheroes.
Spider-Man is a superhero.
Yeah,
even though he's a
as for bringing in Batman
That's
and
what I
Robin.
hate about his aspect, though.
I think he just means a sidekick though, like a Robin, a Bucky.
Because I mean,
But in
because
Marvel,
it's
there is no
also good
sidekick,
because
though.
when it comes to
If you
having
think about
having
it.
a teenage sidekick, like there's more of a storyline. Like yes, there's more emotion to it because it's there's two characters are attached to each other, but the growth in it is that this kid is gonna evolve and become the superhero once he's not able to do it.
But answer
anymore.
me this then.
So that's
who has a sidekick in the MCU right now?
no one.
Exactly.
That's
so
why.
that's why I don't
But that's what
understand
makes
his-
that movie its own movies because it's like he doesn't want to go that route. He wants to have them already stay as stable heroes, and then they're gonna attack
But that's
whatever
not
comes
Spidey,
their
though.
way. He's
mean-
not portraying Spidey like that, and then
But Spider-Man is
No.
meant to be his own hero.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I think he had just talked about when his original conception about a hero. And I think even though
'Cause now-
Spider-Man
'cause
is a
now-
teenager,
'cause now Iron
he's a
Man's
hero.
dead.
He's not a sidekick.
Now Iron Man's
Nope.
dead. He has nothing to go with. Who the hell's gonna be? He's not a sidekick anymore. If you're considering that,
I do understand
tripping.
where he's coming at. I don't know if I agree totally. I think it's just a matter of writing it in a way that makes sense. I think with the whole thing about Dick Grayson, it makes sense because Bruce adopted him. But say, for example, Captain America in the beginning, he was in the war. Bucky was his sidekick. How exactly did this teenager follow him around at the time? Like, there's obviously questions of morality and questions of
That's
just
where I
basic
agree
common
with you.
sense. How exactly did that happen? So I think that is what Stan's whole perception on that idea was, and why he wanted to incorporate. Why he had said
yeah.
that's why it relates to this teenage sidekick, a sidekick, not a hero. Spider-Man is a hero, so I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I think you had saw the teenage aspect and had thought it was hypocritical, but Spider-Man is his own hero. He doesn't. at least his original idea and how he conceived the character.
But then he
was that
just
way.
said teen, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like if it's an
that's what I'm
adult.
saying when
I
it
don't-
comes to them. I understand. See, that's why I understand your aspect when you
Mhm.
come to the DC universe, you know, because Batman did have his Robin.
Well,
and
you have
definitely,
like
you know,
Aqualad, Wonder Girl. You have all these.
Yeah, and- but
Miss
they-
Martian. You have all
and
these.
they did have that differential age, though. They did have a differential age, and so does the MCU a little
Definitely.
bit. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? But if you were talking about this aspect right now, today in this age, Spider-Man is not that aspect, so you can't compare it to the way I'm trying to acknowledge him.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, like, I'm just more conflicted because I do get what he's saying, but some of the best stories we've had have revolved around teenage sidekicks. And you think of stuff like the Titans and the Teen Titans and all the stuff that they were dealing with where they were having to have the responsibility of having to live up to their mentor's potential, or that's something that's very integrated in Dick Grayson's character. And then he leads the Teen Titans, and then Bruce says, "Well, you got to pick it. If you're not going to be Robin, if you're not going to be in Gotham, then you have to retire as Robin."
Yeah,
I know,
and then
and
that's exactly talking it over with Superman and getting the idea of Nightwing, hearing about Nightwing and was it Nightbird or Flybird from him? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but that's how he came
about
that inspiration.
And that's why I agree with you. I agree with you on the whole DC aspect. But then we go back. When we talking about freaking the Marvel, when we talking about Marvel though, so I understand the whole DC aspect about it, but when we talking about Marvel though,
we are,
yeah,
but
right.
I'm just saying, I think that's just something
so
that
you can't compare though. You can't compare DC to Marvel. I understand DC aspect about it.
Yeah, no, but DC came after that, and that's the whole different fact because it's like. Because you're just talking about Stan Lee, so we're just talking about Marvel, so that means everything that was
exactly.
DC,
So he was speaking on the DC Marvel aspect, but like you said, we were talking about Stan Lee, right?
Yeah.
But he was talking about DC. So how are you gonna compare Stan Lee?
Okay, so basically, then I disagree with Stan Lee. Then
no, I'm not.
No, basically that's what you're saying because you want teenage sidekicks. That means you're disagreeing with what he thought. So that means you're. That means that's the answer to the question. So that's the answer to the question. Okay, yes.
I know. So you can't talk about Stan Lee.
No, I was using DC as an example.
That you can't do that when you talk about Stan Lee. You know who Stan Lee is all about.
But we're not talking. Oh yeah,
we were talking about Stan Lee.
We're talking about Stan Lee, but we're talking of everything revolving in the comic book world.
Just DC was more known for that at the time as
because
having
Stan Lee
sidekicks,
was talking about sidekicks, and we all know DC is majority sidekicks without a doubt.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't compare that aspect.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, okay then, I disagree with Stan Lee because
I disagree with Stan Lee too because of what we're just talking about. What I'm just saying right now.
No, I know what he's trying to get at, and it does make sense, but it's just more so. I don't feel that's exactly the best thought, just because there's been so many great stories revolving around teenage sidekicks, and DC has proven that. Especially when you get into Jason Todd and all the stuff that Batman was dealing with after the death of Jason Todd and all that thing on the questions of morality. Is it good to take in these kids? Who come from troubled backgrounds and then having them on the battlefield in that front line to be your soldiers.
It's basically a second chance. But see, this is what I'm saying. We're talking about Stan Lee, though, but you're talking about DC.
But that's all superheroes, though. He's not saying, oh, well, obviously there was a lot of that inspiration because of DC was more known for sidekicks.
But we're talking about what Stan Lee talking about.
I know, but he is saying this is why he doesn't write teenage sidekicks. Like why Spider-Man doesn't have a Spider-Boy.
So, but you're talking about DC though. But we're not talking about DC. We're talking about Stan Lee.
But he's not solely talking about Marvel. He's talking about.
All right, repeat your question though. Repeat your question.
About which part?
About Stan Lee, bro.
So he.
Oh
the
my
thing
God.
I was trying to
Right,
say, what do you guys think of this quote in hindsight, especially considering we've had a lot of awesome teenage sidekicks throughout comic history?
Yes, but who started that quote though? Because Stan Lee did not he did not like the fact about him having sidekicks, right?
I don't think he's wrong. He makes sense, but I just think that we've had really great sidekicks in the past. This is exactly why I'm trying to. And
I know, but you're
okay, but that's the thing. Okay, so your answer is okay. Without bringing DC in,
Captain America had Bucky. Captain America wasn't Marvel at that time, but he
Bucky
had Bucky.
wasn't a teenager.
Yeah, he was.
No,
Bucky was originally
so the
question,
no, the answer that he is looking for is: do you agree with Stan Lee's quote? just leave DC out. If
I
you were to
understand-
meet DC, if you
I
were to meet
understand
DC,
what-
if you
I
were to
understand
meet
what
Stan
he's
It's not
getting
about
at.
understanding. It's about you agreeing with the question or what his phrase is.
Yeah, and we know
I mean, I
that
don't-
we
I
know
don't
we
think
know
he's
that
wrong.
we know
He's right in a sense, but it's not something that I would say.
So
This
it's
is
back and forth
something
on
that
it.
I agree with.
All right, you're confusing the shit out of me right
Next
now.
question, please.
Yeah, for real, bro. Because you're like bouncing back and forth.
No, I'm just trying to say what he's. I'm seeing his viewpoint, but at the same time, we've had really. I don't think that's exactly. You shouldn't limit yourself for that. Like I said, I don't think Spider-Man would ever have a Spider-Boy, and there would never be a little Hulk or whatever it is. There would never be. This is exactly why it's
Thank you.
understandable because
thank you.
Stan Lee didn't really write
Thank you.
Sidekicks,
Thank you.
but I don't think he's wrong. He does make sense in what he's saying.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
thank
just
you.
understanding his
All right, but
viewpoint.
thank you. That's all I'm saying.
So last topic for the day. So we did another poll where we were asking people what was their media preference when consuming superhero content, and the results were a little surprising to me. Not so much with what was at the top. So 42% of people picked movies, 31% picked comics and graphic novels, 10% picked shows, and 5% picked video games.
What?
So the most popular being movies was a no-brainer, but I was surprised that more people read comics and graphic novels as obviously the close second. Why do you think people preferred reading to shows
Their
though?
attention span. Usually, when it comes to shows, if people don't grasp on between the second and
No.
third episode, they're not gonna finish watching it.
All right, but
As for when it comes to comic books, if you're a person who really likes comic books, you create your own story. You listen to those words. You're in your own way. So that's what I feel attracts more people to reading the comics instead of shows. Because, like you said, movies are no brainers because movies are only a 3-hour time period where you get the whole story complete. As for a TV show,
rephrase that
you're
question
going.
again.
You're
No,
going
I'll
into
rephrase it. Repeat
seasons.
that question again.
Just why do you think people preferred reading to shows? Because obviously we know movies is the easiest
where
to
you lost
absorb.
me.
It's just I was more surprised with the fact of I didn't really think that many people preferred to read comics or graphic novels. And that was the most surprising thing because if somebody had a choice between reading a Daredevil comic or watching a Daredevil show, 100% of those people are going to choose a Daredevil show, honestly.
That's where I disagree though too though because everybody when it came into Infinity War or say some shit like that, you know, when it came out to the Avengers, everyone was disappointed when the film came out because of what they read in the comics. So I feel like and it goes with any other freaking book in any other universe or world or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Harry Potter, for example, bro. Harry Potter books give more details than the movies,
Yeah, well,
without
of
a doubt.
course.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes
So
to the
that's what brings in
comics,
the
the
people.
comic that's what I'm saying. Comic books have more details than any freaking original film, TV series, anything.
Well, heck, I mean, even though Justice League: A Flashpoint Paradox, obviously taking inspiration from Flashpoint, was probably one of the better DC animated movies, it still missed out on a lot of details and a lot of stuff from the comic because they couldn't fit in every detail, every
But
single plot element
gotta think
within
about-
that 90-minute movie.
But then you got to think about the time it was being filmed on too, though.
It was 2013, 2012.
Yeah, and what we in now? Imagine if we were to do that 2 years ago. It would be way better than it was.
No, it
time
was still.
frame.
I'm just saying more for the fact of you had said that.
That it's surprising people chose comics.
No, more so because of the fact even like something like Watchmen is probably one of the most faithful adaptations we'll ever see, and it still missed out on certain key elements of the plot of the original of what
But
it was
that's only
inspired by.
because
And that's
it was something we
no, and
haven't
I'm saying
seen.
that's what I'm saying though. You're not gonna be able to go over every detail or every specific plot point in
In a
the
movie.
graphic novel or the book. More so, like I said, I was just more surprised because I expected more people to pick shows over reading, just because people have shorter attention spans and it
Because
takes more
people
effort to
are
sit there and
lazy
actually
as
read.
fuck.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
everybody now is on the whole reading books trend because it's the thing to do. So it's like I see a lot of people.
But are they
reading-
really reading or
No,
are
they're
they really
probably not
skimming?
even reading. But that's why people probably just posted that because that's what they're
You're
doing at the
contradicting
moment.
yourself.
How am I
Okay.
contradicting myself? That ain't no contradiction.
Because what does have the people? You're talking about people reading, right? But
Yeah.
are they really reading?
No. But people like pretending like they're doing fucking something.
You're contradicting yourself. Because I'm talking about people not reading. But you're saying
yeah,
people
but
aren't reading.
But do you think when it comes to the polls, do you think people are gonna fucking choose that?
No, people are not reading it. That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna choose it because that's what they want to fucking look like they're doing. So they
contradicting yourself.
Button. Okay, I am. Whatever.
Cause bro, that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like people are not gonna read it, or people are not gonna follow up with what you're saying right now. Whether
either way, they chose reading more than shows. That's what the people chose, and that's what they get.
No, I think people are viewing more than reading. That's what I'm saying. What do you mean by
people are viewing more than reading?
Because people would rather view a movie than read the book of the original aspect of it.
There's two different people. There's people that do either one.
All right, what do you do?
I watch the movie because I don't want.
So you don't read the book? Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. People should read the book
and
because it gives more details.
And I would have chosen shows.
Yeah,
that would have been my choice. Yeah, but that's my fucking choice.
I thank you.
So
that's all I've been saying the whole time.
Like I said, this was just surprising for me from that aspect where I just didn't think that people would prefer to look. I thought graphic comics and graphic novels would have been in last place, honestly. This is their number one preference when it comes to consuming superhero content or just anything involving the media.
I know, but see, or what generation are you talking about? What day and age are you talking about? If we're talking about today's day and age,
they're stuck to the TV more than they're to books.
No, they shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't,
but they shouldn't be though. That's the aspect that I'm talking about.
That's just the damn truth. They are. Fucking kids are born with fucking iPads.
Thank you for talking about the argument I was talking about last one.
Well, I mean, with all that being said,
and if you hear it back. That's how I know you're not hearing our shit, huh?
Well, with all that being said, that's actually all the time we have for today. But we thank you guys so much for those of you who participated in our polls with the Red Hood and what exactly you guys prefer, the media preference when consuming superhero content. So thank you guys so much. We're going to be doing more of those in the future. We're definitely going to be asking for your opinion and insight more. So now you guys know we all here at Higher Passion Entertainment offer you so many different podcasts to get you going. But if you ever wondered how we produce these shows so fast and with dope quality, we work with our friends at Productive Culture. Productive Culture offers full service recording, mixing, mastering, and podcast production. If you guys want to get your podcast going, hit them up and go to productiveculture.com/podcast and tell them Higher Passion Entertainment sent you, and you're going to get a discount on your first episode. Plus, the referral helps us out, so don't forget to go to productiveculture.com/podcast and let them know Higher Passion Entertainment sent you. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Jimmy will be back next week, and we'll see you soon. Thank you guys.
Peace out.